Hello there, fellow CEOs. Today we're going to be talking about self-care and systems. And so imagine your business as a well-oiled machine. Systems are gears that keep it running smoothly. And so by implementing these systems, you're essentially putting yourself first. So you're freeing your mind from repetitive tasks and allowing you to focus on higher level goals. All right. And so we're going to talk about the benefits beyond the basics. So even though systems are like gears that keep your business running smoothly, they do more than just save you time. Okay, there's three things that are even simpler. You have more time for strategic thinking. So you're freeing up mental space to focus on big picture decisions and then those long-term goals. You can also have way better team collaboration. So things like improved communication, a more efficient team, and having accountability among your team members is also huge when we have a system. The last thing, which is I don't know if it's the most important, but it's the thing I always focus on to an extent, is scalability. So by implementing these systems, you're actually preparing your business for growth so that these systems that you create, you can adapt and expand as you go. And so when you implement systems, you're prioritizing yourself and your business's long-term success. And it might seem counterintuitive. I absolutely thought that in the beginning. But taking the time to actually systematize these tasks can actually save you time and energy in the long run. So overcoming these hurdles that you might be having as you are, seeing if you should be systematizing all of these things. And it is because I know what you're thinking. Systems sound great, but I'm too busy and I'm afraid to make any changes. So I'm going to tackle these obstacles head on here really quickly. All right. And so you're really like one of these hurdles, right, is your time constraints. And so you start small and you gradually implement the systems. I'm not saying you need to have them all implemented in a week or a day or a freaking month or even a couple of months, right? You start small because when you have these very well-chosen systems, they can make a very big difference no matter how small they are, okay? So work with your time constraints, but still be implementing systems to where they can start making a little bit of a difference. And a little difference added to a little difference equals a much bigger difference over time, right? And so the second thing that might be a hurdle for you is a fear of change, all right? Especially if you've put a lot of time into other things already to systematize your business, or maybe you hired someone, or maybe you're just like, I wasn't ready. I already have everything built over here. I don't want to move it. It doesn't matter. You have a fear of changing anything. And so I want you to embrace the idea that systems can actually simplify your life, not complicate it. When you have the right systems implemented inside of your business, it does not complicate things. And that's huge. So if you feel like your systems are complicating things, that means two things, in my opinion. That means you don't have the right systems implemented, or you don't have the systems implemented in a way that works for your business and your team. Okay? There's many different ways to do this. And so if you are struggling with this, then we should absolutely chat. Okay? So this third hurdle that you might have is limited resources, right? We've all been there where we're looking around for all the free things, or, then we're maybe able to scale and we're able to get the next thing, or maybe you have limited resources that are more like time, or, maybe you just don't have as many team members, right? Limited resources. I always keep resources team in there involved as well, because a resource is your team. And so I want to also point out here that there are plenty of affordable or even free options available if maybe you're in the starting stages, or maybe you haven't scaled yet, or whatever. Maybe you just have a tighter budget, and that's totally fine. There are free and affordable options available. When I'm talking to people, I always tend to throw out some free options, or if they're like, oh man, I've been really trying to make this happen, or man, I've been struggling with doing this thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's totally a better system for that. And I give them an idea. I give them, sometimes it's an affiliate code. Sometimes it's just, hey, this is something that's worked for me. It just depends. But there are resources out there that make things much more affordable and much more perfect for you. And so I don't want you to actually let the lack of resources, if you're in that position, hold you back. And I'm also talking lack of maybe some team support as well in this limited resources part. Okay. And so if you have any three of these hurdles, right? Where you have a time constraint, you're maybe fear of making any changes, especially if they're big ones, and you have limited resources and or team, okay? So I want you to just imagine this first. Imagine the feeling of having more time, less stress, and a business that runs smoothly, even when you're not actively involved. All right, that's the power of systems. That's also the power of a team, right? So by implementing these systems, you're not just saving yourself time and energy, you're also investing in your long-term success as a business owner and as a business. Okay. It might seem challenging at first, or maybe you're just in a challenging scaling space. I can relate to that one. I'm definitely in a challenging scaling space at this moment. But every single time I have, got to the next level, the rewards have been absolutely insane and very large, right? They've been great. And so think of it as finding like this hidden gem that just makes everything easier when it comes to scaling, when it comes to managing your time. All of this, systems are game changers. Okay. So back to what we started with here. When you systematize your business, you're actually prioritizing you, your being, your human being, and your well-being. Okay. You're freeing your mind from those repetitive tasks. You're allowing you to focus on higher level goals and strategic thinking. And it's like giving yourself a mental vacation while your business continues to thrive. Okay. Not everything can be automated by a system. Okay. But there are plenty of systems out there that can automate a lot of things. And there are plenty of people that you can bring on your team that can help you. Basically, having a team member do it is as if it's automated to an extent, right? Because you aren't literally in there doing it with them. Okay. So just think of it that way. All right. Things get to magically happen while you're not in the day to day or doing all the things. Okay. That's actually the power of the productivity impact in our agency is that things just happen. Things get checked. All of the boxes get checked. All the things happen behind the scenes. We just make sure it all looks good for you. And so I'm going to give you 6 steps here as to how you can start implementing systems in a step-by-step guide type of way, okay? And you can actually head to the show notes. This is listed down there in case you want to see a short visual. All right, so the first one is identifying routine tasks. And so that's making a comprehensive list of the tasks that you perform frequently. Okay, so that's the first step. Then I want you to prioritize based on the impact that each of these routine tasks have, right? So you're going to determine which tasks have the greatest impact on your efficiency and your well-being. Okay, we're going to start talking about those a little bit more. I also want you to then consider the emotional factors. Okay, make note of the things that cause you a lot of stress or frustration or maybe anxiety, whatever that looks like. Just all the emotions. Note those tasks. Highlight them whatever you want to do here, but like definitely make those stick out because those are ones that we're going to probably want to deal with first. Then I want you to choose a system if you don't already have one, because I want you to select the right tools or methods for each of these tasks. And it's all going to depend on which ones are in this list, right? And so if you need support with figuring out what the right tools are for your business and what the right steps are to implement these, we can absolutely have a chat. You can head to the show notes and fill out the work with me form and let me know where you're at, and I will let you know what the next best step is going to be. All right. This next one here is I want you to just start small. Begin with 1 or 2 systems so you're not feeling overwhelmed. We don't want that to happen. Or you can just, fill out the work with me form and we can do it together. And then you can absolutely skip the overwhelm and we will do it together. Right. And that comes down to this last one here is actually like getting the support that you need to do things. Right. So again, go to the show notes, fill out the work with me form to have me, literally the person here that you're listening to or you can see on the screen, give you custom recommendations for the next best step for your business. Okay. I said this at least 3 times. All right. I work so much better when I'm able to talk with you and I'm able to really get to know where you are in your business, where you want to go, and how are we going to get there? Bridging the gap in between where you are and where you want to go, right? When it comes to the systems and the operational parts behind the scenes, the day-to-day running of your business. I am here to bridge that gap between where you are and where you want to go. Okay. And so when I have specific ways of being able to do that by talking to you, by looking at your systems and things like that, I am able to give you phenomenal recommendations and even maybe support you in implementing them. Okay. So it does not hurt to fill out that work with me form. We get on a call and we talk. You'll walk off that call with at least some sort of direction, regardless of if we decide to work together. And that's what's super powerful. All right. And so once you've actually identified these tasks, though, it'll make it so much easier if you hop on that call with me and you've already identified these tasks, okay? Because then you're going to be well on your way to implementing systems that you can actually use to streamline workflows and different things, which will ultimately help you alleviate stress. And so just before we end here, remember that even small changes can have a really, really, really big impact on your well-being, but also your business and its operations and its success, right? And so by implementing systems, you're not just saving time and energy, right? You're investing in long-term success. And I want to make it happen together, okay? So let's make it happen together. Head to the show notes, fill out the work with me form, and then let's talk real nitty-gritty. What in the world is going to help you the most right now? And then how are we going to get it done? See you next week.